inside another dimension, face battling barbarians and evil magic on a quest for adventure in a maze of monsters. Once you get into it, you'll never be the same. Hero Quest. Now with 2 new adventure packs, the legend grows.
Hi, welcome back to Not Your Mother's Hobbies. Today we have another hero, the Wizard. My favorite hero. I really like the look of the old one, and I really like the look of the new one. I think it's one of the best sculpts, one of the coolest artworks, and yeah, let's just get to it. So he's got a yellow tunic. He's got a lot of color on him, honestly, and I think that's why he's one of my favorite guys. Like, he just looks so unique. Maybe it's only his color palette. Maybe, I think everything put together, color palette, sculpt, all that jazz. Just really unique. So yeah, we're starting here with his yellow tunic, and in yellow. If you want to, and I think I didn't show it, you can use that and in yellow as a second coat and reinforce some of those deeper shadows. Here we're going to do tarragon turquoise, watered down 1:1. And we're going to use that as the pants and his undershirt. Now, I went a little heavier on the pants. Not heavier, lower on the pants than I should have. Those booties have 2 belt loops at the very top. So make sure that you're really eyeballing the sculpt and checking out for leaving 2 belt loops at the very top of those boots. And then, yeah, put that on the arms. And he's got a little bit... Sorry for the focus. He's got a little bit on the inside of his shirt. There, you can see it right there now. Violet 4, he's got big purple cape, big violet cape, whatever you want to call it. He's got a lot of violet, which I still don't have a speed paint of. And so we're going to do the same thing we did with the dwarf, and we're going to do like 2 thin coats of this Violet 4 from Warcolor. If you have another paint that you're thinning down, 2 thin coats, give them 2 thin coats. It'll come out smoother, come out good. Good old Master Duncan taught us well. So just go about and put, there we go, look at that. Speak of the devil. Put that 2 coats on. We are going to use Druzy Violet just to give it another layer of depth. It might give it a little bit of a streaky look, so be careful. And when in doubt, just go back in and touch up any spots with that Violet 4. And don't forget the front part of his cape coming around. Alright, snakebite leather. So yeah, you'll see here, you might be able to notice it, you might not. But yeah, there's 2 belt loops here. I do go back and fix it, so just keep that in mind. Those top 2 belt loops. Here I've only painted 1. So brown, all around on his boots. He's got some bracers, and he's got a belt and pouch. Pretty simple stuff. Now I do miss this part here. He's got a little hang down from his belt. Just make sure to catch that. And here's those bracers I was talking about. Pretty simple stuff. He's just got a lot of interesting colors on him. Alright, Skeleton Horde. We're going to make this guy blonde, just like the artwork. So pop on that Skeleton Horde for a nice, kind of natural blonde look. And it doesn't matter here if you get it on the bandana, because it's a light color, you can still go over top, and you'll see that here. Blood Angel's red for his little bandana medallion circlet thing. Just get on the outside of this, the gemmy he's got in the middle, or I guess it's a little golden medallion. And then yeah, see, it's really light colored, so you can just go right over top. And Gulliman Flesh, we're going to use this for all the flesh. He's a pale guy, so we're giving him a kind of Caucasian look. And also all the gold. Got to get that metallic blocking in. Layering. Okay, here we go. We're using this dollar store white. We're gonna use this a lot. I really liked it. Well, not a lot, but a lot going forward. I really liked the look we got from the Dread Warriors, and I've been incorporating this white dry brush a lot more. And so we're gonna do that here on his pants and his jerkin, his shirt top, the sleeves. So just put that in there, and just like the Sahajin guys, the abominations, we're gonna do some glazing. So put that all around, get a nice little detailed dry brush. Don't go too crazy because you don't want to fill in all the details. And here we go. We're doing the same tarragon turquoise, bringing it back. We're gonna make a glaze. This is a, see, I'm testing it there. This is a 1-part turquoise, 3-part water. And we're just going over as a glaze now. So yeah, I really liked the white look on the Dread Warriors cape, so I'll be doing that for fabrics going forward. And then I liked the glazing effect we got from those abominations, so I'll be incorporating some of that as we go on. Violet 3, just layering up. Remember, you can use Violet 4 if you have some parts that were too streaky and just layer up that base coat again. But I didn't think it was too bad on mine, so I'm just going straight to the Violet 3 just to begin those layers. Get that value rising. In a way, I'm glad that I don't have the paints all the time from the brands that I might enjoy or be consistently using, because then I get to show you guys that you use what you got, and I get to show you different techniques, right? Contrast gets you so far, but sometimes you don't have it and you gotta make do. Violet 2 for the most extreme highlight, and just go in there, pop it in there, dot it every now and then. Now, you don't have to, with these highlights, it's fabric. I am not a fan of doing like every single line is the thinnest. I guess you call it like the Games Workshop edge highlight technique. I'm not a fan of that all the time. Most of my stuff, I like to just go straight to, a little bit here. You can see what I'm doing there, actually, right? I'm just putting a little bit there. I'm not going into the extreme centers and focusing on tiny itty bitty little lines. I'm just putting dots in sometimes, right? Like chunks of color. Don't forget the front loop. I hope that made sense. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments down below. I can explain it better. But yeah, don't forget the mantle in the front. Alright, Wraithbone. We're going to be layering up on his tunic. The yellow tunic. That Wraithbone is going to go really nice with the tunic. With the yellow undertone. It's going to go really nice on it. Because it's got those warm tones already in it. So it's going to make everything just look yellow no matter what. It's going to be just a really good highlight. You'll see. So yeah, just keep going up. Up, 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 up. 1, 2, maybe 3 coats to really build up the depth of the yellow fabric and give it some whiter hot spot highlights. But you can already see we have a lot of nice raised mid-tones and whatnot in there. It's a nice surface now. We have gunmetal here for our first of the metallics, and you can see that I didn't use basilicanum, mostly because I made those mistakes, but the snakebite leather is dark enough. Alright, so this area, this is that area I was talking about on the belt loop that I made the mistake of putting yellow on it. So just make sure you catch that part. You can see what it looks like. Retributor armor, gold. Just cover everything in gold. All the gold stuff. So that's his staff and the little medallion on his circlet. And also, he's got something else on here. Oh, the clips on his cape. Yeah, the clips that hold his cape up. Yeah, that part, just like the dwarf, the lesson was, you can be messy. You don't have to do the proper quote-unquote colors underneath for your blocking in and whatnot. You could be a little loosey-goosey messy. We did that here. Those clasps, they were loosey-goosey. They were messy. Neln oil on the steel parts and Reikland flesh shade on all of the gold parts. Business as usual. yeah, I hope that the dwarf video and some of the other videos have really kind of shown that while I have my method to doing things, you can edit on the fly. You can do what makes you feel comfortable, and you can break off from the usual way you do things, and it'll come out all right. Acadian flesh tone, we're going to use this to bring back midtones and to begin to highlight up all the flesh. So just go over the flesh like usual. This time, Acadian flesh. Just like what we did with the Barbarian on a smaller scale, right? The Barbarian had all of those big, chunky muscles that really helped helped you see what was going on, right? All those big islands of flesh. Well, here it's just a smaller scale, right? Just the hand, a little bit of the neck, and his face. So hopefully that Barbarian gave you lots of practice. Here we go, Kislev flesh. The exact same thing on a smaller scale. Again. So just minimize the area that you're doing to the tops and the most raised. So like knuckles, the, I guess, 1/4 back of the hand, that kind of thing. And then don't forget the neck, the nose, cheeks. All those raised, pointy, bony bits. One thing to note is if you feel like you made a mistake here with these tiny little details on the faces or any skin, remember you can just go back in with, you know, the Gollum and flesh and just, you know, thin it down a little bit if you need to, but just take that and put it back in the area you feel like you messed up, and it'll tone it down and you can just raise it up again. Here we got Pallage Witch, and we're using it for all those highlights. My favorite glossy, super bright highlights on pale skin. I think it really pops, just like chrome on metallics. I think it really adds that extra edge. All right, extra touches, chrome. Speak of the devil, here we go, chrome. Let's put it all on there for your metallics, starting with our steel metallics. And then moving on, like we do, to the gold metallics. It'll add that extra pop and sheen, make it look really shiny. This is our bread and butter metal look, so should be pretty standard now. If you've been following along, you should be pretty good at it. We do it in almost every miniature, right? Almost everybody's got metallics, so you should be well and practiced, which will actually be really helpful for us going forward, because once these heroes are done, we have some extra heroes that are crazy. They have a lot of little tricky, difficult things going on, and you're going to need all the practice you can get. So if you've been following along, then you should be pretty prepared for when we finally get there. You'll have an edge in the competition. You'll be Bolo Young with that glass in his pocket throwing it in Van Damme's face. You know, the edge. Alright, so we got our dollar store white going in the hair here. This is our little highlight. If you watched the Super Saiyan Trunks video, this might be familiar. Alright, and now, some of you might have noticed we didn't have the design. That's in the extras, baby. We're doing it. This is dessert. We're using Griff Hound Orange, and this is a tricky little bit to do. So one of the benefits of the way that we painted this, though, is if you make a mistake, and even I made a mistake and had to go back and realign my little triangles to suit me better, one of the benefits of painting it the way we did is that we can just go back with our Wraithbone and paint it over the Griffhound. Wraithbone has very good coverage, so it's gonna fix your mistakes. It's gonna look like everything around it. It's a color that we're using for our highlight as well. It's a color that we're using to put Yend in yellow on top. So like really, it's a be-all end-all if you make any mistakes on this part. Like, do not stress this little design stuff. Just do your best, and if you need some tiny touch-ups, pull out the Wraithbone. You need some bigger touch-ups, pull out the Wraithbone, add Yend in yellow, start from scratch. It's okay. You do not need to panic and strip the model. And then after that, boom, base. You've seen it before, you've seen it again. It's the exact same one we always do. Now look at that. It's my favorite guy. Look how freaking cool he looks. Ah, so much color. So many cool little things on him. I love it. He's got like a classic wizard vibe with like a new age wizard style. I don't know. I just love this mini. Love the look. So cool. And for comparison, as usual, here's the female version. Looking awesome. Looking just as cool. Next up, we've got one more hero. We got the elf. Who's excited for the elf? I mean, the elf does have a really rockin' look this time around. I liked the classic tunic and the squatty look that he had, but this time around, having the female be the main elf, as well as having that cool, like, full plate mail armor, the feathers, really interesting look. So I hope you guys like what I end up doing with it. You'll see that in the next video, and if you liked what you saw this time around, let me know in the comments down below. Give me that little thumb up, give me a subscribe, hit the belly, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, bye-bye.